Hi, this is Chuck Westfall from Canon USA. We're here at Las Vegas NAB 2012, and we're demonstrating at the Canon booth the new EOS C500 Cinema EOS camcorder. Now, what we have here is actually a 4K camcorder that uses the same body as the C300 HD camcorder that we introduced in November. And you can see by looking at it that it shares a lot of the same hardware controls and layout that we had with the C300. But one thing that is definitely different on the other side of the camera is the grip, which is now permanent and contains 4 different jacks that did not exist on the C300. And they are 2 3G SDI jacks and 2 monitor jacks. And those 2 3G SDIs are what we use to output 4K raw video data. Now, you can shoot anywhere from 1 to 60 frames per second in 4K RAW at the full resolution 4096 by 2160. There's also an option to do what we call half RAW, which is 4096 by 1080, and the benefit of that is to get you up to 120 frames per second in 4K. And this is 10-bit data coming out, then gets recorded into an external recorder and later on to be developed into a usable file. Now, in addition to the 4K capabilities that we have here, we also have ability to set the camera into either 2K or Full HD. And at that point, is it 12 or 10-bit, either 60 or 120 frames per second, depending on how high you want to go. And again, coming out of our external ports for that type of capability. At the same time, you can record to the CF cards in the actual camera. And there are 2 slots. The same basic setup that we had in the C300, and when you do that, you're recording a 1920 by 1080 standard 10-bit MXF file, same thing that we do with the C300. And the idea for that one is that even if we are working in 4K, we have a proxy file that we can use for editing. So essentially, the other benefits of this camera, besides the 4K attributes, the fact that it uses a Super 35 sensor that has ISO range from 320 up to 20,000, so extremely good sensitivity, extremely low noise, and it's an EF lens mount here that we're showing, but this camera will be available in both EF and PL lens mounts, and it's compatible with our full line of EF lenses for SLRs, as well as the Cinema EF lenses that are available in both fixed focal length prime and zoom. The lens that we have on this particular camera is our biggest standard zoom, which is a 14.5 to 60 millimeter t2.8, and it's roughly a $45,000 lens. This is the type of lens that would be used on a studio shoot or anywhere where you've got access to a full set of sticks. And in the same basic form factor, we also have a 30 to 300 T2.95 to T3.7 lens that's available for the longer shots. There's also 3 different cinema primes that are available, 24 millimeter T1.5, 50 millimeter T1.3, and 85 millimeter T1.3 at roughly $6,800 each that are available. They cover not only the Super 35, but also full frame 35 as well.